All right, everybody. How are you? Hello.
Hey.
How are you, everybody? This is John Garcia with Mrs. Christine Case and Mr. David Lemon again today in a Thursday webinar for Groovekart Challenge. As we all know, today is day number 7th on our challenge. So we're gonna have a couple of exciting things to do, and more importantly, we're gonna show you a couple of new features that we actually released for those who have missed it in the past week. So in the past weeks, I should say. So be ready for another episode of a lot of new learning experiences for some of us and new features. So Christine, David, how are you guys?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
I'm very, very good. I'm looking forward to today's training.
Awesome. All right, so let's keep going. Let's just as usual. Let me just get my screen up. Give me just 1 second. Share screen. And let's just go with screen 2. Awesome. I guess we all can see my screen now. Perfect. As I mentioned, is the day number 7. And today we're going to be talking about other functions in our Groovekart. Hey, Drew, good morning to you. Very nice to see you. I believe you are in Australia. So yes, good morning. Top of the morning for you. And by any chance, if anybody is the first time that you are with us here today, please, by a way of pressing a number 7, let us know if it's the first time here with us. Let's see how many 7s we get, David. And, just share the experience. Share what you think. What are your expectations? We would love to know exactly how we can actually make this better for you. So let's see if we get any couple of 7s. And today we're going to be talking a couple of other functions in your store. So as always, we're going to just interact with your store. In a few minutes, we're going to open up your dashboard, and we're going to be connecting more stuff. So guys, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Christine, is he popping to you as well?
Yes.
So it's like we hear you like this, John.
Don't tell me that, because my microphone, I just changed my microphone.
It's not
literally
only a
2
mic,
weeks
like
ago.
your image is kind of stopping as well.
Maybe my internet. Yeah, I just noticed that. Oh, no good. Let me stop my.
Maybe we can turn off your camera for this time.
Yeah, let me just turn off the camera. Let me see if by turning off the camera I can do something here.
Okay, he turned off everything completely. So
It just may be you and me, Dave.
yeah, it was actually kind of funny. I thought that somebody is on the microphone eating something. It was like kind of okay. I'm really unsure in these. Darcy Hall, I love David Lemon's impression. So I'm really unsure when these types of things happen, if this is only on my side because of the internet connection, or what's happening. John, we can see Joe's image, but we can see your name.
I was about to say yes. What is going on here? Because that's not me. Well, Paul Kobler says much better without his camera. Paul, thank you. That does great things for my self-esteem. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well,
Paul, it's kind of true, but kind of hardcore.
It's always fun to be here.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Again,
it's fun.
Absolutely.
Well, it wouldn't be your style if it wasn't fun, and I bet that you guys can now hear me better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The sound is better, but John, what? After this live stream, I'm setting up a GoFundMe campaign for you to get to get you some better gear. Absolutely.
Don't say that out loud. Come on. We actually ordered a Mac for me at least a month and a half and they said that they would deliver it at the end of this month. So it is how backup the Mac is in order. So if anybody is experiencing the same thing, please share your experience with Apple. But in any case, I wouldn't even try. I will actually just address a couple of things, Paul. Thank you very much. And yes, today's lessons actually is going to be a couple of things. We're going to be talking about the other functions. For the past 7 weeks, we actually have covered much of the core functionality: how to create a home page, how to create a product page, how to edit your product details, how to upload a product. And today, since we're kind of just really nearing the end of the challenge, we're going to be talking about the actual other functions. What extra stuff we have to, one, increase our conversions, two, make sure that we maximize the actual platform abilities, like capturing emails, like upsells, and some other stuff, especially, and I should have said not upsells, but pixels. We're gonna show you how to connect the pixel in your Facebook and in your Google accounts, so you can actually generate those feeds and connect those pixels to your respective accounts, so you can increase your marketing aspect when it comes to your experience with Groovekart. Now, with that said, let me just take a look at the comments. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Wayne. Darcy Hall says, I'm sorry, I was a little laugh out loud when David said, turn off the video. Well, hey. Why does John have profile? I have no idea. But hey, Joe is a good looking guy. What can I say?
If you want, you can change that. That's not a problem. Just click on above your name. Not there, just above your name in the lower part, and on the 3 dots, and then you can change a picture.
Edit name. No, it's not allowing me. But you know what? That's not important. But let me just edit audio avatar. Oh, okay.
Found it?
I'm gonna just upload the avatar. Let me see if I can find something quickly. I don't want to take too much time in this.
From Joe.
Let me see what is going on here. And I already see what the problem is with my laptop. Is my audio choppy again?
No, it's good. It's good now.
Okay, good.
No.
All right.
So yeah, guys, Groovekart trainings are usually about how to set up your store, but today we are extending our expertise in setting up StreamYard and profile pictures, so you can learn something about that one as well.
What to do when things are not going the way you plan them to. But hey, it's okay. It wouldn't be, as I said, every single Thursday. It's a new adventure with us. It's something that we do out of love, and out of love for the company, and out of love for our customers. And you know what? We keep you guys entertained. So if there's any value that you're going to gather today, it's going to be entertainment value, plus whatever we're going to be talking about. So as I was saying, this is day 7. For those, I saw a lot of 7, so it's day 7. So what we're doing is a complete challenge. We are using Christine's case store as our feature store, because she actually won the award to be on the place of kind of a student and experience hands-on the complete process. So that's what we're doing right now with Christine. She's been amazing for the past 7 weeks. She's been following what we need to do and what we actually need to complete for her. And it's been a great synergy, because she has experienced a whole new situation when it comes to e-commerce, because now she's down to the nitty-gritty of the details of how to run specifically a Groovekart store. Now, I believe that for the past 7 weeks, she has pretty much gotten down everything that we need to do. Right, Christine? I think you're following up in a very good way, but I want to hear it from you. How do you believe the experience has been so far for you?
It's been really good. I love the hands-on so that I can play with it. And then when we're offline, I can go in and tweak it and do the changes and do my homework. And I love it. I think this is a great experience, and I am so grateful for that.
Awesome, and that's what we are here for. In the new challenge that we're going to be doing in a couple of days, actually a couple of weeks, I should say, we want one of you guys that are out there right now looking at this live to participate with us. If you have a store, we actually got a couple of the submissions for the essays. We're actually internally assessing who is going to be the next person. We have a couple of candidates. We changed a little bit the format because we were relaying a lot of and counting on some votes, but unfortunately we had to change it a little bit. But we're going to have a very cool surprise for next week once we announce the next student, or I should say, the next store showcase for the next challenge. But let's get to it, shall we? Because I think after the whole situation with the mics and the audio and the videos, let's get to it. So news and updates. Just keep making Groovekart better. We have now rolled out to new servers a few days ago. So if you notice a slightly better connection and a slightly improved speed, it's because of that reason. Not only that, but we have actually fully now rolled out most of the updates in Groovekart. There are still a couple of unfeatured, undisclosed features that we have, a little bit of bugs somewhere in there, but we are working through them. And now we have a better way to display our dashboards. It's actually faster. It responds better. And it's actually easier to use, believe it or not. We actually did, I've been asking a lot of the our customers that go into the service desk, and they said, and I asked, what are the challenges that you were having in the past? And those challenges were, I cannot find things. Now it's easier to find where to go. So, and I hope that is the same experience for everyone out there, that not only that is looking at us right now in the live, but also to all our customers that might be looking at this recording later. So today, and I don't believe we have any other announcements. David, I don't know if you have anything to add to this. The only announcement is that Donna is actually obviously not with us today. She's been completely overworked. She sends her regards. She misses to be here for what I understand in a conversation that I had with her earlier today. But she sends her love. So that will be all for the news and updates. Now, and for today, we're going to be talking about other functions, as I said earlier. We're going to be talking how to add a spin wheel for your store, creating staff accounts, connecting to the analytics, which is important, and I will be talking about analytics in a bit. Also, the GDPR for those who are in the European Union or countries that actually do require the GDPR, and the Facebook and Google product feeds. Those are how you grab your products and put it in your Facebook page or in your Google AdWords for the Merchant Center in Google. Rick Thomas asks, is there a great QR code software that I can use out there? Rick, I believe I have one, but I will have to probably respond that at the end. So David, if you can please take a look at that question, and we can probably address it at the end of the webinar or when the QA starts, because we do have the last 20 minutes, we have a question and answer portion. So let's get to it. Now, we have done a lot of changes when it comes to the presentation for the card. And with that, the simplicity of it, we try to create a synergy as far as connecting the dots together. And what I mean by that is we have GrooveFunnels, we have GroovePages, we have GrooveSell, we have Groovekart, we have GrooveMember, GrooveMail, and everything needs to be addressed in the same direction or in the same experience. So we created these changes based on the platform, GrooveFunnels. So if you see the similarities of the experience when you logged into GrooveFunnels, Groovekart is actually gearing towards that, to have the same experience. And later on, it will be interconnected. So it will be way easier for us to connect to our stores, to access the stores, and jump to group pages and then group to or jump to group funnels and experience pretty much the whole platform. But that's part of the progress that we have done as far as of the UX and the user experience, but also try to make sure that the functions actually are the ones that we need, that you guys need. So we do have the app manager, the designer app, and the group quiz. And I'm showing you guys first the actual screenshots. So you guys will have, it will get yourself a little bit familiar with it. But then in a few seconds, Christine will actually just open up her the dashboard on her store, and we will see them live when we start the hands-on practice. So these are where you get all your apps, all your extra apps for your customer service, your conversion boosters, migration tools, conversion tracking, tools and utilities, or the AOV booster. Also, you have the designer app and the group quiz. The designer app is to design products, which we will talk about it maybe in a separate class. A lot of people have asked me, we don't really use it because now we use the internal functions that some of our vendors has, because designer app is strictly for creating products. But most of the vendors that we have for print on demand, they do have their own designers. So what will be the advantages? So soon we're going to have one full live when it comes to how to use our designer app. And also, of course, group quiz. I'm going to try to make sure that we squeeze in how the usage of quizzes and gamifying your content in Facebook will help your conversions. But let me move along, because another part that we're going to do is actually the analytics. We're going to be connecting Google Analytics, and this is something that I believe is one of the most important parts in e-commerce. And I said it once, and I said it maybe 1,000 times, but it's better to make decisions based on data than out of just a gut feeling. And we will discover what I'm talking about in a moment once we connect this store, Christine's store, into the Google Analytics, which I believe is already connected, but for the sake of the exercise, we're going to just do it and take a look at how the analytics react to the store and how and when we interact with it. The next one will be staff accounts. I believe I mentioned it as well, because sometimes we need help and we don't want to give control to certain people. Maybe your virtual assistant, we don't want to make sure that they don't see certain things or they don't have the right, they only go to the right area. So we're going to just create a staff account as well. And again, we're going to have the pixels and embed codes for the Facebook product feed and the Google merchant feed. I will show you how to get that, and maybe if we have enough time, we will connect one, depending on also on the time that we have for the QA. And maybe I'll talk also about email marketing, because we actually have a new feature that a lot of people might know that it works now. So I will address that for email marketing. Now, let me just move it now to Mrs. Christine Case. Mrs. Case, if you can please show us your screen, and let me just stop my screen. Now, I believe I see your, let me see. Okay, perfect. Now we're looking at your screen. So David, can we confirm that everybody is actually looking at Christine's screen, that she's actually in her dashboard?
We can confirm, yes.
Awesome. Perfect. And well, with that said, Christine, let's just get started in a couple of the things that we're going to do. So let's start by going to the, let me see, the apps, the app manager. So you see where that had that little rocket, perfect, and then click where it says app manager. Now, some of you guys might remember that the apps were actually in a single place, and it did have a bunch of boxes. Now, what we did was compile the same amount of boxes, but make it a little bit better. Now you can actually select what area you want to have certain app to work, and then you can click. And if you click, for example, in tools and utilities, Christine, let's see what happens. Tools and utilities, perfect. It will actually just show you some of the utilities. Spin wheel, the Facebook pixel, the Zapier integration, the Google Analytics, the Facebook product feed. Here is another change that we did. Some of the apps that I just mentioned, we have two ways to activate them. Specifically, the Google and the Facebook feeds and pixels, we can do it from here, or we can do it also from the settings page, which I will show you in a second. So then you can just activate each of the apps by moving the dial, just like, for example, in Facebook, or just in Google Analytics, you see that the dial is turned red. If you don't mind, Christine, can you click please on the dial just to deactivate it? Yeah, correct. That little dial will deactivate it. If you see a function that you want and it doesn't have the pink bright color or the magenta color, that means it's completely deactivated. So we do want definitely Google Analytics. So let's just click back the dial and let's just make sure that it is active. So that will activate the dial. I mean, activating the dial, it will activate the app. So Google Analytics, spin wheel, Facebook pixel, Zapier integration. But let's just click all, Christine, let's just go all the way up and let's just click all. And let's just take a look at what we have here. So we have one of the tools that we are now using a lot is the migration tool. Some of you guys might have businesses in Shopify and you decided to pretty much make the jump. So this tool will allow you to bring your products and your categories and all your variants to Groovekart in just a single click. All that you do is just follow the configuration. I will not go into it right now because it will be another whole session, because it requires to connect your APIs from your store, and we don't have one of those in your Shopify store. I mean, and it will be just a little longer process, but we will have another training that specifically talks about the actual import and export of the store. If you scroll down, Christine, please. Now we have the apps that you have enabled, which start Tax Jar, which is an app that helps you with your taxes. If I'm correct, it kind of calculates the state tax and any other taxes that you might want to incur while you operate your e-commerce business, or in this case, your store. Product reviews is important. Why? Product reviews allows you to bring or create or type reviews in your products. As you can see, Christine has it actually active. Facebook product feed is also active, and Google Analytics is active. Why is important? I will talk to you in a second. Why it's important to have the Google Analytics connected in your store. So now, if you scroll a little bit down, you have the spin wheel, the GDPR, MailChimp integration, and I think Runtar integration as well. These apps are for a specific purpose. So obviously, MailChimp will be for the integration of your newsletter or any kind of mail communication that you want to do with your customers. You have also your spin wheel, which allows you to create a code so you can provide a discount to your customers. And also, of course, the GDPR. And I'm going to stop right there for a second. And Christine, let's just activate that just for the sake of activating it, because it's also important. A lot of our customers contacted us a few weeks, I should say, because this has become, and please correct me if I'm wrong, somebody that is maybe from Europe, maybe Dwight, since he's here. Right now, the GDPR legislation, or the GDPR consortium, I don't know, the entity that created the GDPR, is demanding that most of the sites that deals with information is very clear about it, that is secured, and that the information will not be shared. Pretty much the regulations that they kind of demanded. Your Groovekart store, it is GDPR compliant. Do not be confused with Groovefunnels. Groovefunnels is still in the process of being GDPR compliant. The stores are. Pardon me. So feel free to activate this app if you have your business in Europe, so you can make sure that you are compliant, that your information is actually safe, is protected with the SSLs that, of course, we have in our servers, and everything is up to par when it comes to that legislation. Another couple of apps, of course, the winner coupons, the Facebook Messenger chat free and social proof pop-up. Those are just conversion boosters. Your social proof is the little pop-up that pops in the corner of your site saying somebody else bought this product, which will probably activate it in a few minutes, so we can we can show you guys the functionality. Ooh, pardon me, my I think I just got a hairball. Okay, and I lost my water. Sorry about that, guys. And this is the times when I said I'm so glad that I'm not in camera right now. And I see David and Christine just chuckling there, but it's okay. Awesome. So let's continue. So Klaviyo integration, Facebook Pixel, and Zapier integration. Zapier, as you know, it allows you to move information from one point to the other. So let's say if you have a product that needs to have an order sent to a specific place because you don't want to use any of the third-party applications, you can do that. So you can actually customize your Zapier experience and connect it to the store. So certain information will be exported out automatically every time an action happens, which of course it will be a whole different training. But we do have a video on Zapier, but with the old platform, which we're actually working on. Most of the videos that you're going to be seeing in the next couple of months will be with this platform, with this new update. Some of the videos that are out there are with the version 1 of Groovekart, so it's not very recommended that we can actually just send them to you, because it will create just more confusion in certain instances. So we appreciate the patience when it comes to waiting for the videos for the details and functionality of all these apps. So now, Christine, let's just do something, because I believe that we can maximize the time if we put you in charge of navigating your store. And let's just talk analytics, because I think that analytics is important. And if you agree that analytics is important, please press a number 9 in the screen or leave a comment. What do you think? Should we run our businesses or e-commerce stores based on data from our customers, or based on gut feelings? Or I believe this might work. Oh, I think this will actually be okay. What do you guys think? I would like to know. I would like to pick your heads and get ideas. What exactly you guys believe is best? Connecting analytics, or just sell and trying to sell just based on a gut instinct? Let's see. We have, of course, we have a couple of 9s already. And in order to do that, we need a very good analytic software. And what better than Google? I mean, it's free. You have a lot of information that you can compile from there. And you can make decisions based on that. Why? A lot of people ask me, but how can you say that Google Analytics will tell me what to do as far as of my advertisements, as far as of my advertisement efforts? It will tell you everything. So, Mrs. Case, can you do me a favor? Can you actually just go to the settings? Actually, no, let's do it from there, because I see that Google Analytics is there. So let's just click on the little wheel where it says Google Analytics. And the Google Analytics here, it actually just gives you a lot of options. And I believe if you click on the tracking feature. Oh, you do have the Google Analytics ID. So here we don't want to touch anything right now, but let me just show you what we did earlier. With Google Analytics, what you need to do is, one, have an account. So Christine, can you do me a favor? Can you actually go to analytics.google.com if you don't mind?
Analytics, Google.
Analytics.google.com, yes. Oh, actually, no, that's let's just cancel that. I don't believe that. Did you put the dot? Or you can actually, you can close that window if you don't mind. Oh, it's actually taking you to the right place? Yeah, I think, yeah, perfect. Awesome. And yes, you are in the right store right now, the Fireman Zone. So let's just have a little fun here with Christine's store. Can you guys do me a favor? Let's just go to the firemanzone.com. David, can you type the URL for a moment so we can actually let's take a look. So it is connecting. Yeah, thank you. And actually now let's just also connect. I'm sorry. Let's just go to back to your front page in your store, not your dashboard, but to your front page. And just leave it there for a moment. Let's just go to analytics. And I see that you have 3 users now.
Yeah.
Now, let's get, we have somewhere, we have a good amount of people. So let's see, can we actually go?
Could you tell me one more time the address of your store, Christine? I shared out the analytics page, but I didn't share.
Yeah, it's actually the firemanzone.com. Let me just, I'll post it right now. It's actually firemanzone.com. I believe that's the one. So I actually should have just added with the HTTPS so we can actually see. So if anybody can actually just click on that or just copy paste. And once you set up your analytics, you will see this. Let's say one day you want to take a look at how people access your store. Once you connect your account, which we'll do in a second as an example, so you'll see all this. How many people is live going to your site? What is the real-time exercise? What is your audience? Where they're connecting from? So, and I know, and one of the things that I want to do, and I always say this, Google Analytics might be cumbersome and scary because it's just too many places to click. But all that you need to know out of all this information is where your customers are coming from. Because it wouldn't make sense if all of your customers right now, I should say all your visitors are coming from, let's say, Russia, and you are planning to advertise in the United States. So that's why we need Google for this. And just in a moment, we jump from 3 visitors to 12 visitors because people tend to actually just listen to what I say sometimes. So now we have a lot of visitors, which is great. Now, Christine, do me a favor. Can you please click where it says real time? Because I want to do a test. Because since most of us are in the PC, but some of us might be probably connecting from a cell phone. So let's see, let's just click on overview in real time. So it's going to tell us right now you have 13 people. You can actually close that or click on the next. So you have 13 people, 12 in a mobile device. I'm sorry, in a PC, and 1 in a mobile device. So this is the cool thing. Google will tell us where people are coming from, but also what devices. And why is this important? Because when it comes to advertising dollars decisions, you need to know where to put that money wisely. You need to make sure that if your page is more visited by mobile devices, you will probably advertising a Facebook feed. You're going to boost a post within a specific product. So you can take advantage of that, and you can activate the mobile feed in the Facebook advertising. Or if you want to do maybe just half and half, let's say. Right now you have 15 people. Now, if anybody wants to try it, how this is important, let's just go all in our cell phones, whoever wants that. And no worries, the site is not cookied. You're not going to be getting a ton of emails because you're not. It's a site that it's an exercise that we're testing. So if you type in your mobile browser, firemanson.com. Nope, I actually did it in my cell phone. Let's see if I can see myself there. Let's see, I believe I'm number 17 now. So it will track all the movements of your customer. And this is important. Now you see you're getting more people. And if you take a look, this will be a good exercise for all of us to take a look. You see where it says top social traffic and top referrals? It will indicate if, let's say, we clicked on a link from a Facebook ad or an organic post, it will tell you everything. It will tell you pretty much all the details. And where are the customers right now? What are the products that people visit the most? And this is only in real time. Now, if we go to the audience reports, you will find more details, more information. And of course, you have more detailed instructions and indications of where to put your money for advertising. I believe I have done a lot of exercises with testing products and testing campaigns, because you need to know where to actually advertise. And Google Analytics allows you those clues. It kind of tells you, hey, this is where your customers are coming from. Right now, it's telling me the top active pages and the location. So let's take a look. Christine, if you don't mind, can you scroll down a little bit? Let's see the locations. Let's see the top locations that we have. And you see, it's actually, we're all around the world. We have people in New Zealand, in South America, Brazil, in Las Vegas. Oh, it wasn't not Brazil. It's actually because I saw it too close. But it was Las Vegas. It was Tegucigalpa in Honduras. We have people in Cambodia. We have people in Zagreb. I believe some in Russia. I mean, all over the place. So wouldn't you like to base your marketing decisions when it comes to, let's say you are selling fireman t-shirts, and let's say something happened, a big situation happened, let's say in Australia, just like those fires that happened last year or a couple of years ago. You could have shifted your advertising dollars to Australia because a lot of people felt that they needed to support their firemen and their volunteers. So those are opportunities. And I'm not saying, guys, and this is where we have to be really careful. I'm not saying that every time there's a big fire, you should actually just put all your money in that specific city. No, we have to do this ethically. But as an example is what we could use to make sure that a store moves in different places. For example, right now, California has been affected by the fires. So you can probably just create a campaign for a specific t-shirt within a specific message to support the firemen, the local fireman department, and of course, maybe a charity to support the efforts of what is happening. So we use that information, those analytics, those details, where people are coming from. Are they using mobile? what city, because you can go to the granular level to even the city, the location, and go and probably create a campaign just to target certain locations. So this is why it's important, because you get everything here. Cool things about analytics, it's free. Uh, you can get a lot of things, and yes, it's super cumbersome to use. I am not gonna lie. I am Google certified the past 7 years, and the exam is not easy. Uh, a lot of people are doing it because as a tool to understand better uh, the Google Analytics, because it's important for their business. Once you understand the data, once you understand where your customers are coming from, you're going to have a better experience with your e-commerce, and you're going to become profitable. That's when you understand that, hey, if I put my advertising dollars in a single campaign, maybe one or two ads in Facebook targeting these locations, because I see a movement on, let's say, Las Vegas. Las Vegas have bring me new users because maybe you did something in Facebook that talk about Las Vegas. So point that traffic sort of into a Vegas t-shirt. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, for example. Ideas. Be creative. Use the locations that people are coming from to enhance your business. And in this case, it's actually in the print on demand aspect. But then again, use everything that comes in your power, because traffic, you can generate traffic anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, now TikTok is becoming a very incredible tool to create awareness really fast. But the most important part is you're going to have all those places, but if you don't know the details of what kind of users, what device they're using, and where they're coming from, you might not have nothing. So it's important that we connect the analytics, and the way that we do it is this way. Now, Christine, let's just do let's just go to the little wheel in the bottom, to the bottom right. There's a little wheel. Just keep scrolling. There you go. That one. That will take you to the administration. And what we need to get is we need to get that code. So you're gonna see this page once you click on that wheel, and that will tell you to add an account. So you can create an account. So let's just click on the plus sign where it says create account in the top. There you go. And actually, you want to create separate accounts for separate websites. So let's just type here, new account. It's just a test because we're not going to actually send it out. Then you can actually scroll down. But it's so we can actually do this step by step together. And then just click next. Then just, oh, did you type something there, Christine?
I didn't
New
type
account?
anything there yet.
Okay, just probably, we can probably create test account, for example. Let's just scroll all the way down and let's click next. Okay, here is important. What do you want to measure? You want to measure your website, your app, or if you scroll down, apps and web. What do you think will be the right answer in this case, Christine? If we're actually just looking to track our website or e-commerce store, what will be the one that you want to do? Having in mind that you don't have an app.
Well, then I would have to do the web.
Exactly. So because we don't have an app to track certain things, so simplify things, because here, once you select any of those other two options, you're going to have more options in your dashboard to get confused. So simplify by just selecting the web. You're going to measure your website. That's all that you want. So let's click there and let's just move next. Now the website name, we can just put Firezone 2, for example, just for the sake of the example. Then on the website, you can just type in your website. And guys, we're doing this step by step. So for those who don't know, or is the first time here, like Sarah Wilson, we are doing this as a series of exercise for you guys to improve your stores, to make sure that you can start with a solid foundation, and to give you some tips and tricks in how to make it better and more profitable sooner. So right after that, you have to select the industry category, which you could probably click shopping. That's fine, and then select the time. Once you click create, it will give you a code. It will give you a code that starts with an UA or AU. We're not going to do it because if we create another code, it will generate a problem. So once you get that code, if you don't mind, Christine, let's go back to your Groovekart. You will have to place that code right there where it says Google Analytics ID. So that's all that you have to do. You copy that code, starts with the UA and then the series of numbers, and then that's how it connected. That's why we were able to see when everybody started visiting Christine's site, we saw how we interacted, what pages we actually went to visit, what device did we use. Now, that is important for the reasons that I mentioned. So now we know how to connect Google Analytics. Simple step, but a lot of people, as I said, a lot of us, unfortunately, once we start working on something as big as analytics, because remember, this is only the tip of the iceberg. And once you get more information and once you get more proficient with Google Analytics, you start realize the potential of the stuff that you can do with it, because you can analyze all that data and not only work for your advertisings, but also once you connect your Google Merchant Center, which your Google Merchant Center allows you to put your products directly in the search for products into the Google ads. So that's also a very powerful piece right there. So now, Christine, let's just move away from there for a moment. And since we cannot just walk through the process on how to actually create the account, and I hope that everybody was paying attention because it's important. Let's just do the staff account, because that's the second. Actually, that's one of the most important questions that we received a lot in our service desk, because a lot of people tells me, yeah, John, but I don't want to give access to this person to the full admin of the store. How can I do this? Or how can I create an area that they can just have their own logins? So what we're going to do is we are going to go to settings. And then in settings, I believe the 7th or 8th option is staff accounts. And that's it. That's where you need to go. Right now, I believe that Christine has, I believe he's her husband as a staff, and he is one of the store managers, or the store admins, I should say. But how do we create this? And what do we need in order to create a staff account? So all that you got to do is create add new employee right at the top. And remember, if you're working in a smaller screen laptop, or maybe in a restricted area, a tablet maybe, you can always close where it says settings. You can actually click the X. And what it will happen, it will actually just save you that space, and you can just work fully there. So, Christine, if you don't mind, let's click on the X next to settings, right at the top.
Next to settings.
Yeah, there you go. So did you try to do something on your husband's account? Maybe edit it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, no worries. So let's just click cancel for now. Let me before we do any changes there, let's just click cancel. So we can probably create a new one as an example, so all of our audience can take a look at the process on how we create the account. So let's just click add new employee. So this is for everybody that wants to have, you know, as I said, an assistant, a VA that is going to help you to manage the store, for example. So right now we have, did you click on the new one and that's what appears right now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's
So
what
I
I
guess
did
we're going to use,
earlier. Yeah.
and it also appears again. Okay. Let's take a look at that. So you just need first name and last name, important, an email address. Then you can generate a password. You can either type it yourself, copy, paste it, and then the language, we're going to have a multi-language rollout very soon. Activate, remember to activate everything in the page. We just move the dial to the pink color. I mean, I don't know what color is that. What color would that be? Maybe like a magenta, or what kind of color is that one, Christine?
It's
What
a
do you think?
groove color.
It's a groove color. I mean, it has no name because as much as we try to define what color it is, it's hard.
Salmon.
But it's a salmon color. Okay, well, I'll take that. I'll go with that one. I'll go with that one. So, and now the permission profile. The very last step, right after you put all that information, will be the permission profile. If you don't mind clicking on the options, if you click right there, perfect. It will be a virtual assistant for orders, a virtual assistant for customer support, the virtual assistant product only, meaning that he can actually just edit the products and add information about the products, or a store admin. So usually store admin is one of the best because he will have access to everywhere. But as I said, some of our customers decides, you know what, it's better off if this person do not have access to certain areas. So I just want to be, I'm going to allow him to work with the orders, for example. So that's when they select VA orders. Right after you have put that information, all that you do is click save. And of course, that staff member will be emailed on the password, or you can actually just email it as well. But now you have an account ready to go for your store, for somebody else to work with you, of course. Now, let's just make a little parenthesis here. Let's just take a breather and let's just answer some questions, shall we? David, do we have any questions from the audience at this moment? David?
He left us.
Okay, David, no problem.
Sorry, guys, I'm here. I just had to go to a place. Yes, I'm here now. What was the question?
It's okay. We don't want to know what place you want. It's fine.
Yeah,
Glad the camera is off.
top secret place.
Top secret place. Yeah, you went to the kitchen to get a sandwich. Don't lie. All
Okay,
right.
busted.
So let's go with the questions. I was just trying to see if we have any questions right now from our audience. So
Yes,
because I
for
see.
now, I don't think there are any questions.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, because some of the questions have actually been addressed.
Yep.
Well, Rick actually asked earlier, is there a great QR code software out there that I can use? Rick, there is, and I believe is qrcreator.com. Let me just see if I haven't. Just give me a second. QR Creator. Let me see if that's the one, because I have used it in the past. No, it's not. It's not QR Code Creator. Do me a favor, Rick. Send me an email. I know you have my address, so you can send me an email to support@groovedigital.com, and I'll send you what I have. I have to look through a mountain of different links and save links, so I don't want to kind of occupy the time doing that right now. But I'll certainly just send it to you so you can take a look at it. I do have a question here. Is there a way to assign a product with one or more category, like a t-shirt category and best deal category? Yes, there is. You actually have a couple of ways to select the categories. Now, let's just do it, shall we? Christine, can you do me a favor really quickly? Can you actually just go to your products? And let's just go to my products. Wow, you see, you're flying. Now let's just close products. Perfect. And let's just pick the very first product, because you see it says the category is t-shirts, but let's just edit the first product. Let's just click on it. Should be there. Do you see the icon on where you can change that? Let's just click. Why is it not showing up? Let's just click on the actual link for the product. That will take you to the actual product edit feature. Ooh, let me see why is that showing like this. Let me take a look at this really quickly here in my screen, because it's not supposed to look like that. Can you actually do, oh, I see what's going on. Can you do me a favor, Christine? Can you please go into the little the 3 lines on top? The very
Right
top
here?
to the right? No, the right.
Okay.
That
There
one,
is this one?
right on your browser, where it says edit product. You see that line, that top line? Right at the other end, there's 3 lines. Perfect. Can you click there? And can you actually do me a favor? Can you please clear cache? And let me see if that does it again. Did you click on the product?
Yes.
Oh. Let me see if that has anything to do with the actual update that we did for the server today. We were updating databases this morning. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, let me just 1 second, guys. Of course, we have a little snafu here. Let me just try another store really quickly. So we can actually just go and show the category changes. An update that you can do it on the Fox. David, in the meantime, has anybody else added any questions yet?
There's a question from Darcy. First order email took 11 hours to come through. Is that Groovekart issue or GoDaddy issue or both?
The first order email took 11 hours to come through. Is that a Groovekart issue or go? And Darcy, can you do me a favor? Was that today or was it a few days ago? Because if that was today, as mentioned, we just completed some server updates, and that's probably why some of the areas might be looking a little bit funky. Maybe they aren't even completed.
So there's another question from, it was a couple of days ago, Darcy says. So it is probably delayed because of this merging of databases, Darcy. I believe we are just improving our apps at this point, and it could be a bit of delay because of that. But no worries. Next week, Monday, we should be seeing Groove Mail, and hopefully it will also come to Groovekart very soon. So that will fix a couple of issues that we are having for now. John, there's a question from Michael. Will the quiz feature be able to show a poll sliding from the side or be embedded with one line of code so that visitors can cast a vote? I bought a product like that in the past, but now the platform is dead.
Michael, yes, the Groove quiz will allow you to do that. You just create just a small quiz. But I just got a notification, guys, and I'm sorry to do this in the live right now. But yeah, some of the actual databases are still updating for what I'm just told. And I guess we forgot that we did a webinar live today. So because I just noticed that we tried to address some products in 2 different stores, and maybe if you try it right now, you're gonna see the same problem. So apologize for that, but let's just move along with the questions that we can resolve. What I'm gonna do in this case, who was the person that actually asked the question of the categories, David? I believe it was, let me see if I can find it here. It was right after Rick Thomas. He was actually a Facebook user, but I don't know their name. Yes. Facebook user, do me a favor, please send me an email to support@groovedigital.com. Attention, John Garcia. Just please mention that you were at the live on Thursday, so I can address the question right away. And of course, we can take a look at what is happening. Christine, I might probably want you to back out of it because, as I mentioned, we have a confirmation that there is a database upgrade. And do me a favor, if anybody right now that is looking at this live, if they want to, for example, Sandra, I know Sandra Soto is here. Sandra, if you can do me a huge favor and try to log into your store and see if you can edit any of the products and it will show normally, I'll appreciate it. So I can get full confirmation right now here that that's definitely the situation. I certainly do not want to say anything that is completely untrue, but I'm sorry for the looks of it. It's definitely something that is going on with the database because that controls the actual categories. But yeah, you can actually select more than 2 categories for any product. And this is how, guys, as I always say, this is how we know that we're live, that this is not a recording, that we're testing the software live, because that's what we do. We try to be as clear as possible, and even with the little situations that we have, we're improving the product in a daily basis. So if you have any questions, guys, please send them to me. Send them to support@groovedigital.com. We're there to help you. Now this week is a little bit been easier, so we're certainly back to respond anywhere between 24 to 48 hours. So in 2 days, you'll get a response, the latest. Now, my store is normal. Charlie, mine is working okay. So I think is definitely part of the databases then, because in some cases, if some of the core stores might be working fine. So let me just do a test here with order off camera just for a second here. Give me just a moment, Glassy Hills. Sandra, I am going to abuse your friendship, and I'm gonna probably just use your site internally here in a moment to make sure that we are in what area of the server we're actually completing this. Give me just a moment, guys.
But what if we just continue with the next next presentation for the spin wheel, maybe?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to check.
One other time.
Yeah, because since we're gonna have the spin wheel demo, and this is probably not a store that is being completing the update, it might not work either. That's why I'm kind of just testing it first. Give me a second, please. Okay, let me just check something here in this store, and I'll probably take control of the screen in a second. Let me just check under the controls here. And yep, okay, let me have the screen up. Christine, I'm gonna take the control for just a moment, okay? So we can just show this. Because yeah, so and you guys, as you can see here in this store right here, the actions button appears. So this is kind of the indicator that probably the last part of the database hasn't been completely moved. So most likely we'll finish in a couple of hours, hopefully, and make sure that everybody else. But for the report that I'm getting from a couple of people, so their stores are working normally. So, but for the sake of the exercise, let's just edit this product. And what will happen, dear Facebook user, you have the option to select several categories, as you will see here in a minute. Right here in your descriptions, you have your description and okay, variation loaded. And actually the category will be the main info, my apologies. Default categories right at the bottom. The default category is marked as pink, which will be t-shirts. And then if you want to add another category, you just type for the category. You mentioned maybe deals or maybe, let's say leggings. Let's see, home leggings. So that's an extra category that product will actually be featured. So it is possible. So home, t-shirts, leggings. So if you want to remove a category that you added, you can just click the X. Now, thank you, Sandra. Appreciate the help. Thank you, Dwight. So for what I'm seeing here is probably one of the stores that that we created last, which I believe your store was recently created, Christine. So that's probably why it's been affected with this. But it will be up soon and working normally. So now let's continue. Let's just add now the functionality that David just added. He said, how do we add a spin wheel? So let me just go back. Let me just exit this. And the spin wheel, we actually said that is an app that helps the increase of your members for your newsletter, and you can provide them with something, which in this case, it will be a little discount. But you can control who wins and who doesn't. That's part of the marvelous thing about marketing, because then you can actually say, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit discount for your email address. So while I go there, Christine, so let me just, I'm going to also work in here in another screen. I'm trying to see if we can update your store right away. So let's just go to the spin wheel and let's just configure it. We're going to open this one. In this store, is actually active. So we're going to make sure that we just go and show you the changes. And since this is another store, so we're going to take a look at how the configuration for the spin wheel works and how to do it, how to actually configure the spin wheel. And what's the spin wheel? Is actually this. Let me just show you guys really quickly. I might have to clean my cookies here because I've been to this website before. And let's see if I see the spin wheel. If I don't see the spin wheel, I might have to clean my cookies so we can actually see it better yet. Let me open it in a incognito window. So let's go to glassyhills.com. I believe that it will activate a couple of the things that we have saved for the right here. This is your spin wheel. So, and it activated a couple of the things that we have in this store active. So this little feature will appear the first time, or maybe 2 times, or maybe 3 times, depending how you configure, which I will configure in a second. But you will have this, and then you just enter your email, or in this case, your visitor entered their email. I'm going to put test@test.com, and it's going to start spinning. And it's a fun way to actually give somebody a discount. But as you can see here, you have 12 options. And in this case, we want 10% off. We just copy this code and you click continue. It will say code copied. And then what it will happen is once you get to the store, once you purchase something, you can use that code to discount. And those happen automatically. And I will show you right now how that works. So this is the spin wheel. The spin wheel will actually allow you to do another thing, to show the spin wheel on demand, meaning with a pull-out tab. And this is actually a new feature because a lot of people were asking us, hey, how do I want that little spin wheel to be, on demand in my store, or whenever the customer or the visitor might want to play and add their email address. So it's right here, the show pull-up tab. And if I go again to the store, if I go to the front, or maybe even just go back, let me just go to the store. Since I'm in an incognito mode, most likely it will show it again, but it will have a little something indicating that you can actually use the pull-up tab. Now, in here, you have allow email marketing, allow email check on cart. That tells you if enabled, when a coupon will be applied, when it will be checked, the user of such applied coupon and the generated coupon are the same or not. And it sounds complicated and it sounds a little redundant, but it allows you to have that coupon used only once by the same user. That's pretty much what it says. Maximum display frequency in every visit. If you don't want every visit, you can say one every hour, every day, every week, or every month. So in this case, we're going to just leave it maybe every visit. Always display after certain times. You can control the time. Who to show, and this is important. Do we show to every visitor or just new visitors? I mean, all visitors might get tired of seeing the spin wheel, so it's recommended to actually just new visitors. And when to display immediately. So you have the options to control after how many seconds after they're in the site. You can have 15, 20, 30. I think the minimum is 10 seconds, but you do have that option to control at what time the actual spin wheel shows in your store. Now, also when exit, on where to scroll down. When I scroll down means that if I click the percentage right after, let's say below the fold, which is 50% of the page, maybe probably a little less, once I scroll down, this spin wheel will activate. So it will be like, oh, the more that I scroll down, surprise, you get your spin wheel active. Now we move along with the look and feel. In this case, we have the red theme, the spin wheel, the design. You can change the design of the wheel if you want to give it a little bit, a little bit different feeling on colors. You can customize the colors. It's pretty much self-explanatory, so you don't want to just spend time on the color settings. Then the text settings, your title, your subtitle, the rules. You can spin the wheel only once. If you win, you can claim your coupon for 1 day only. So this is pretty much the rules that GlassyHills.com has. The coupon settings. Here's what it gets fun, because you see you have 12 slices in that in that little spin. So you have the option to make one slice the winner. Can you make more winners? Yes. Is it recommended? No. You want to have the odds to give the customer the discount open, depending on what you want to do. If you want to offer a 10%, a 15%, a 20%, a 50%, whatever it is, you always want to make sure that at least there's one winner. That's for sure. Only one. But you can have multiple and with different values. So you can have one will be 10%. And for example, I want this one on the 20% off. Let's just edit this portion right here of the spin wheel, and it will show me what options do I have for that 20 for that little slide. So it will actually allow me to do the changes. Now, let me see here, text settings, coupon settings. Why it took me here? By the way, let me just see. It's taking me to the same area, I believe. Yeah, it's actually just taking me to the same area. Okay, so let me just see why it's doing that. But in the meantime, let me just show you where the emails go. A lot of people ask me, where do those go? How do I make sure that, let's say, my MailChimp list allows me to have my emails once they fill out the form in the spinning wheel? Right here in the email marketing area. The email marketing, you will need, in this case, a MailChimp account. You log into your MailChimp. Soon you can use maybe GroovMail or something else, but right now what we're using in this case is MailChimp. We created or actually rather say that Sandra created a list that she can populate with that email address. So it's right here. This is the API key that MailChimp provided. And every time somebody just submits that, they do the spin, that email address automatically gets added to that email list. So you have it in a way that once you have everything in MailChimp or in any other massive emailing software, it could be, I believe we also have GetResponse, MailChimp, and some others. You can just create your campaigns from there. So you can send, if it was the first time that you use the coupon and you won, perfect. Let me just show you more products. Maybe you are interested in these products, maybe a feature product or maybe a service, anything that you guys are selling. So you can actually take advantage of that. Now, and the last portion is the statistics. It will tell you how many people have actually just used the spinning code, the spinning wheel. And as you saw, I used the email test at test.com. This is my discount code. Why is this important? Because then it allows me to control how many times this discount code was used. So you will track, okay, if I sold a t-shirt for $30 minus a 10% discount, then you'll kind of have a better idea of what is selling and what is not, number one. And number two, you will know that definitely the coupons are working. Coupons are always best, and anything that we can do in order to improve the process and maybe just by gamifying a little bit the site, it will always be a positive for the e-commerce experience for the customers. And kind of in a nutshell, that's how you actually work with the spin wheel. And moving along now, Christine, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to you. I'm going to give you the controls. Oh, and I see a Donna Fox is around. I was just a little bit distracted, but I guess she is passing by and say hi. Donna, you want to say hi?
Exactly right. Just popping in to say hi, seeing if you say something I want to jump in and give my 2 cents, but I'm just quietly working here in the background.
Okay, well, it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you in ages.
I know.
Ages.
I know.
But
I miss you, my friend.
Me too. So you want to say hi to Christine and David?
Hi, Christine. Hi, David. It's good to see you both.
Hello, Miss Fox.
Hey. So, and hi, all of you groovesters out there being all groovy. So, yeah, I just needed to feel the love and the energy by just coming in and being a fly on the wall. So,
well, you truly are loved. So give you a big hug, a virtual hug here.
Right back at you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Donna. So pleasure to have you. So if you hear something that you might want to chime in, please do.
I absolutely will.
So this is the functionality from the spin wheel, guys. So that's one of the other features that we have. And another feature that I will definitely explore, but let's just jump back to your screen, Christine, if you don't mind. Let's just, let me kill my screen and let's take a look at yours. I believe yours is active, if I'm correct. Can you share your screen, Christine, if you don't mind?
I have.
Is it in the screen? Let me see. Oh,
there it is.
Is that your screen right now? Correct? Yes. Yeah, that's where we stand. Yep. Okay. So we kind of just had to use another store for this purpose, for this demo. But let's just move along to the other part that we wanted to discuss today was the GDPR, which I kind of just mentioned briefly, but that was important how to activate it. But it's pretty much self-explanatory. You go to the apps and you just click activate, and voila, it will give you that activation. So can you just click on the little configuration tab? On the configuration wheel. Thank you, Christine. And I believe it's just activate, ask for consent, and you want to make sure that you, depending on what you guys' needs are, if you don't want to have any guest using your checkout pages, you can do that, meaning that nobody as a guest will be able to check out. So I don't know if that's recommended or not. but it is part of the settings of what the GDPR is all about. Make sure that is the security of the site and the certain situations that we need to, make sure that we're compliant by allowing the customer to say, hey, I don't want to have this experience of being able to allow my guests to check out. So you can actually take a look about and your local laws, I mean, depending on the country where you are, if that's allowed or not. So we have the options here. And it all goes into each case, depending on the niche market that you're in, and of course the geographical area. So that's one of the simple processes there that we can actually have as far as setting something, the GDPR. Now, what else do we have? We had the analytics, the staff account, the Spring World, the GDPR. Now, let's just talk about the Facebook and the Google product feeds. We have a couple more minutes, so let me just take you there. Can you do me a favor, Christine? Let's just go to your dashboard, because I'm going to tell you guys where to get those that information, those feeds for your website, because you can do a lot of things with your feeds, because you have products that can be placed in other places, let's say like Facebook, Google. So where do we get those links? Do me a favor, let's just click where it says settings. Then let's just go to pixels, feeds, and embed codes. And let's check out the menu here. So as you can see, the menu says embed codes, Facebook pixel tracking, Facebook product feed, Google Analytics, and Google Merchant feed. And if you guys remember earlier, I mentioned that you can activate the Google Analytics in several places. Here is the second place. So if you want to click there and just show again your code there, Christine, will be great. So people will see that you see your Google Analytics IDs embedded and active. But let's just click where it says Google Merchant feed. So why do we use this Google Merchant feed? Now, Christine, I need to ask you for a big favor. Can you actually go to Google in another tab? Let's just click Google for a moment. It could be in this. Yeah, you can close the analytics or open that one. Perfect. Now, let's just type any subject. Let's just see, I don't know, rock and roll t-shirts, or maybe fireman t-shirts. Like, why not? Let's just go with fireman t-shirts. You see the very first option, it says ads, but now you have another option right there that says shopping. Can you please click where it says shopping? You will see that it's going to show you a lot of products, and this is just strictly for products, t-shirts, based on the keyword that you selected. Now, what this feed does, it allows you to combine it with your AdWords account and do the ads directly for the products. So that Google Merchant feed allows you to do that exactly. Allows you to create an ad and then connect it directly to your store. So you don't have to go through the whole ads process to create an ad, a campaign. Nope. This simplifies it, because with an XML file that we generate, you connect it to your Google Ads account or your Google AdWords, and then you create a small campaign, you select the actual products, and voila, anything that has the keywords that in this case we're looking for, if you have the same keywords, will appear in that Google feed. So now let's just go back for a second, Christine, to your store, to the dashboard, because we are now there. And you see, if you scroll down a little bit, some of you guys will see this differently, because I believe that we created the feed already for Christine. Some of you might not have that URL that says feed URL. You might have to generate it. So if you need to generate it, all that you have to do is click the generate the feed, and it will generate that link. And if you click that link, Christine, if you can please do me a favor, what it will happen, it will create an XML file. What is the XML file? It is the file that you need to upload in your Google AdWords account with your products. And why is that created? Because it simplifies the process of you manually inputting the products in the campaign. And it will create a campaign strictly for your products using the power of the actual Google feed. And that's pretty much what it does. It says that the file doesn't exist.
That's right.
Okay, might have to regenerate it. So let's just try to do that. Let's just see if we generate the feed. It will take probably a little while to see the results. So let's just let it simmer for a second there. But that's where you actually create your Google feed. And the same case, while that happens, let's just jump for the Facebook product feed, Christine, so we can actually take a look at that, because it's the same exercise. You just, it actually, let's see if you can just generate the feed again there. You just have to make sure that you activate the feed, and what it will happen is you can connect this to your Facebook. And it's a little bit it's a process that before it was allowed, and maybe David, maybe Donna will know this. I don't know if Facebook is still allowing to add the products into the pages, because they're now are doing their own payments. So I don't know if Facebook is doing their own payment system, and everything is controlled under the marketplace, I believe is called. And I am not 100% sure if you as a Facebook user, if you have one of your fan pages, you can actually connect that, which I will have to probably investigate a little bit more. Do you know anything about that, Donna?
I don't know. I can investigate, but I don't know.
Yeah, we had a case last week of a customer that says that he used to have them, and I remember because we did put them together. But lately, the process has been a little bit complex when it comes to connecting the feeds with Facebook. But this is the base. This is how you can get your file to work, and you just upload that there. And I think it would be worth to have a full training on this. I will definitely talk to David and try to see if we can explore the option to navigate a little bit more into this topic and get that resolved. But those are the two areas that you get those files. And as I mentioned, I think it will be worth it to spend more time. Right now, I just realized it's 7:28. So we're gonna make sure that for a future live, we probably just dedicate a full hour to both of them, because it's important when we connect, our social media platforms to our e-commerce store, to increase the visibility and of course sell more products. So with that said, I believe we have covered a lot of things today. I hope that we actually showed you a little bit of new things. But let's just move on to the rest of the QA. David, do we have any other questions?
So I have been answering quietly in the background. So most of the questions so far were answered. If you want, you can read them out loud and just answer them yourself as well. But I gave my best guesses and my best knowledge into those answers.
All right, perfect. No problem.
There is a question about a pop-up. Do we have that option to do pop-ups? I'm not very sure that this is an option yet in Groovekart, but you would be able to maybe answer it better.
Yeah, actually, I believe you can add a pop-up in the embedded code. So let me just show you really quickly here. If you don't mind, let me take a little bit of control here in my screen again. Share screen. Let me just share screen 2 really quickly. And so, do we have a name? Okay, it's actually Facebook user. How to add an HTML code of an opt-in form or a pop-up on store homepage? Charlie asks. So Charlie, what you can do is go in your settings in your store and go to the area that we were, which is pixel feeds and embed codes, right? Is the very last, before last option in your setup page. And you will see a couple of areas that you can use to embed the code. So you can embed this code right here. You see, most of the apps or pop-ups that we use are either in the head section or in the body section. Most of the pop-ups work in the header or between the head tags. So you can actually drop that code here, and of course, since it's in the header, it will open in the homepage. So you can test it out in there. Also, in this same area, if you're into customizing your store, you can actually use any CSS, any kind of, little tricks and tips to change the colors, maybe modify a function, or maybe if you add maybe a new font, or if you want to use different stuff in the CSS, you can actually embed the code right here.
So let me just clarify this one quickly. These embed codes are not to put in pop-ups on inside your design, inside your page design. This is to actually set up a site-wide code, which will you will need to have a third-party app for pop-ups in case you decide to go this route. What John is showing you.
Correct.
At this point, I don't believe there is an inbuilt pop-up feature, but in case you have a third-party app or a widget for pop-ups, then this is the way you actually embed your codes inside the head tag or the body tag. But it is not an inbuilt feature that you need.
Yeah, we don't have at the moment a built feature for pop-ups, but that is the way that you can actually create it. Most of the pop-ups were with JavaScript, and one of the programming languages, either Bootstrap or maybe HTML3, or I'm sorry, CSS3 or HTML5. They have different variations that you can use, and you will probably find some code that you can actually use to embed in here safely. And I hope that we can actually answer the question. Somebody asking, let's see, any other question, David? Look at those great accessories in the background.
There's a there's a question from Dwight Antonio Perry. Is it possible to preview the store from the visual builder, not from the admin panel?
Of course, we do have that, and let me just show you right now. And if I understood that question correctly, just by pressing the button on the builder, you can actually preview it. But let me see. Is it possible to preview the store from the visual builder, not from the admin panel? Actually, and this is a personal preference, once you click any of these buttons, it will kind of give you the preview of how the store will kind of interact. But also now, and this is again personal preference, and this is what I do. I always, when I'm working with the editor, I always open this side into a different window. I think that would be the best and purest experience that you can create for yourself once you work with your page, because you know you're saving, and all that you have to do is go back to the actual, the separate tab, so you know if everything is looking the correct way.
So I believe Dwight is asking about the preview feature like what we have in Groove Pages. Dwight, that is not yet an option yet. I believe it was in version 1. I believe that was an option in Groovekart version 1, but it is not there yet. But we just need to keep in mind that this platform is still being developed, and there's tons of features being added.
Yep.
Not yet. After the merging, I believe that it will be just the best thing ever. I want to just point out a question that Darcy asked here. In feedback.groovefunnels.com, I don't see a separate bucket for Groovekart. Just put in Groove Pages. I'd love to see a specific bucket for Groovekart bugs and Groovekart feature requests. Should we just put it in Groove Pages? Absolutely not. We try to keep all the apps separate. And for now, John, if you could just open the Groovekart feedback, groovekart.kenny.io, I believe that's.
Yep. Give me 1 second, because I think I am going to send the link for Darcy. I believe. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
So groovekart.kenny.io. For Groovekart, Groovekart was one of the first platforms that was available live for the people. We had a separate feature request and a bug reporting platform. So it's groovekart.kenny.io. This is where you need to go to actually request features and vote.
Yep.
Vote on features and bugs. So If you head over there, that is
just
the place.
added the link, by the way, David. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so for YouTube peeps, you have the link. I will share it out on Facebook in a moment. But yes, this is a separate bucket for Groovekart. Please try to not put it in under Groove pages. Try to not mix and match. There's a question from Michael. Who can I talk to suggest some cool features I have seen on other products in the past? So Michael, that would go over here inside this groovekart.kenny.io feature request. And if you want, you can also get the link from it and then share it in the group just to get some other people that are interested and upvote it. Okay, Donna actually put it in the group. I can see her smiling there in the background. Thank you very much, Donna. And
Figured I might as well make myself useful.
yeah, thank you very much.
Donna, your mere presence is useful.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that because you're not looking at my face right now, because for some reason somebody said that I was ugly, so that I better turn off my camera. So I just turned it off.
Who said that?
I don't know. But Christine heard him.
That I said, I just actually said to John, try to turn off the camera, see if it works then, because his microphone and the voice was cracky. Or
That makes sense.
It's okay, David. I'll be seeing you someday. All right, so let's go back to this, guys. Do we have any other questions?
Yes, so John, in case you want to have this one, so Chris Pang is asking how to get an SKU of an order from my store. Right now, it's only included in the confirmation email to a customer as a reference, but not to the vendor. Is it possible to at least forward the same customer email to me, store email? I believe Chris asked already this 2 weeks ago. So if you want, you can repeat.
I believe that the same email with the SKU actually comes to you and the actual supplier. But you know what? It's a good question. I do have to do a little bit of research to see exactly what information he sent out. Maybe if it's an SKU for, let's say, Printful or Tscape, I will have to definitely just poke a little bit to it and make sure that we are sending the right information both ends, because I believe that that's what Chris is asking, if it goes both ways, if it goes to the supplier and the customer. So I think it's better off if we just investigate. Chris, do me a favor, send me an email to support@groovedigital.com and put attention John Garcia, so I can make sure that I just see it right away and try to address it for you. We do have another question. Could I add the product video created from Groove Video to Groovekart product page? Charlie asks. I do believe actually in Groovekart, we only have right now YouTube embed videos, but I know that it will be most likely a feature that you can embed into the Groovekart.
Can you just embed the code embed?
I don't believe the code embed might work, but it has to have the ID directly for the video in YouTube. And I believe it's only YouTube, but let me just take a look.
Video gives you a embed code.
So if it gives you a code,
video and dump it into an embed code on the page in Groovekart.
That's what I recommended, but it says that Charlie says that the HTML code element when you are designing your page does not work. So maybe John, if you could try to do that just to see if it works out for you, or maybe Charlie just missed a step.
Let me take a look at this. So, and it's specifically for the video.
Yep.
Okay, let me take a look, because and Charlie, was that a product page or was it the home page? I believe it was a product page, right?
Product page, but I can send you a Groovekart video link or an embed code if you want to give it a go and try to embed it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start to do that.
Because it should be working. It works this way in Groove pages. I believe very similarly should be working also in Groovekart.
Yeah, for example, this is a video that actually we have, and this is actually the code directly from the Groovekart, but this is from YouTube, so I don't know if Groove Video will have the same situation. Let me take a look at the settings.
So for the Groove video, you would need to use the code embed or HTML code, I believe.
Oh yeah, you see here. Right now we support YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, SoundCloud, Streamable, Vimeo, Wistia, Mixcloud, and Daily Motion. So I don't know if that code will work from Groove video. Might have it in the list.
Video element.
I'm sorry.
That is when you're using the video element, no?
Yeah. This is the video element.
Code, the HTML code embed.
Oh, the HTML code embed. Yeah. Do you have the code by any chance, David?
On Skype.
Oh, perfect. Give me a second. Let me take a look at that. Let's just add that to this page, for example, and let me just do it right at the bottom of the page. Let me just add the element. Let me just add the content. I believe HTML code. Let's drop it in the center. Let me just see if we can get the code. I'm going to copy the embed from my settings. Give me 1 second. I'm going to copy the code. When did you send it, David? A few seconds ago, maybe?
Skype, yeah.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Let's take a look because I will definitely like to see that. Why it's not. Okay, going into Skype right now. And let's take a look at this. I'm copying the code right now. I'm pasting the code. Now let's just click save. Let's see if it saves it. And let me go here and let me just refresh the page. And let's go all the way down where we actually drove that element. And I don't believe it's actually displaying.
Could be that it needs to still be looked at.
Definitely, because I see the code that I dropped in here, but I don't see it. Let me just try to do it again. Drop here. Let me just save. Now display selected. Okay. Let's see the elements. Let me refresh. I think it just like bug it down. But yeah, this is something that definitely need to take a look. I'm gonna address it with the team and get it.
Everybody watching it, this is the correct way for now until the actual Groovekart or Groove pages get a normal element which you can pull in, which will be called Groove Video. This is the correct way to do it. So in case, even if it doesn't work at this point, this is the correct way. So if you are trying it at a later point, give it a go. I'm pretty sure this will be fixed by then.
Right now I'm getting a please wait, so let's take a look if it save it. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, it's not taking it for some reason, so I gotta definitely take a look at that with the dev team and put it to their attention.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you for that. Need to keep improving that portion, but any other question?
There's a question from Michael. Google Merchant integrates with something called UPC. How can we set up this with Groovekart?
Oh, that is actually a very good question because I was investigating that for my own personal use. And yes, depending on where and how you want to advertise your products, yeah, Google would require UPC. However, those UPC codes, they're generally just related to a manufacturer and other little aspects. So I do need to get you more information how we can actually add it, because we had the similar question about Amazon, because Amazon also requests UPC codes to add products. So I'm going to definitely need to contact more people to get you answer to that specific question, because I was actually asked the same question a few days ago. So please, Michael, reach out to me, and we will definitely just search for the answer for that. Okay.
And then a big one from Darcy. What's the status of Groovekart Challenge number 3?
Darcy, we got the actual essays, and between Donna, David, myself, we are going to select the winner.
I think I dropped the
So,
ball on that. Let's blame
no.
No, you're actually good, Donna. We were speaking with John. We took it in our own hands, so we know you are very busy, so we took it over.
Thank you.
It's quite all right. So, guys, with that said, it's been an exciting evening. I hope you guys worked and went through the process these past 7 weeks. Next week is going to be another week of new announcements, another week of new stuff to be learned. So thank you all for being here tonight. We kind of passed already the 1 hour mark, the 1 hour and a half. So anybody wants to add something? Donna, since we haven't heard you from, ages, it looks like ages. You look completely different. Your hair is longer.
It's getting a little crazy. It's really time for me to do a little chopping. I'm starting to tuck it into the back of my pants when I get dressed in the morning. So it's time to get it a little shortened. It's nice to see everyone. Good to be here. Sorry I've been so absent, but things are, as you know, a little crazy. We've experienced tremendous growth over the last, frankly, over the last 6 months, but even more so over the last month. So I've just been completely swamped. So I'm so happy you picked up that one ball that dropped at my feet, and I'm frantically trying to juggle the rest of them. And then my only other comment is I want to see all of Christine's purple jewelry. Like, I just see one big purple piece back there, and now I want a screenshot of the purple section so I can go shopping, Christine.
So I believe this requires a solo layout. So let's give her some attention.
Yeah. Go, Christine.
Yes. So we have $5 jewelry set. So it comes with a pair of earrings, and I do have, but my board is so long you can't see all the way over. But yes, this is sea beads, and it does come with a set of earrings.
Yeah, see, that's sold already, people.
So yes, and this is my last one, and we are limited. What jewelry I have, most of them you cannot order again. This is a one, so you have a unique set. So sometimes there's only 5 that you can order, and I try to get all of them. But there's a variety of types. So if you go to my BellaGemAccessories.com, that's Facebook, also available, and there's a whole bunch of different ones there. I try to keep it separate. So what you see on Facebook is not the same as my store. So yeah, there's all kinds, and I love to help anyone.
Awesome.
Awesome. Great. So Donna, I believe that's for David, right? The purple set that you're going to buy?
Oh, don't you think it'll look great?
Hey, I have to come back at you somehow, my friend.
No,
Anyways, guys,
this is a positive thing. I was expecting you to buy it to me, but it's okay.
Well, I'll buy you the earrings. How's that? I'll buy you the earrings.
Please do.
Yellow.
Oh, there we go. That's for me.
That's yellow.
Oh, there you go. All right. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being with us again. And I believe we have one last question. Edward Young asks, can you have multiple credit card accounts for each different site in Groovekart? Different accounts for different sites for debit and payment. Yes, you can have separate accounts for your site. And I believe you can also have multiple options. You can use PayPal, you can have GroovePay, you can use many of the options that we offer. So sorry, guys, that you cannot see me today. My camera and my mic were not cooperating today, but it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you, Christine, for being with us tonight as well. You've been awesome. David as well. Thank you so much. And of course, Donna, what a surprise to have you here for a couple of more minutes. But I think it's a wrap. Thank you guys for being with us tonight, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.